Hi guys, welcome back to Kit Car Direct and MK Sportscars. Well, we're back in the workshop this week after our venture of racing at Croft. So workshop stuff going on, plenty going on, lots of bike engine stuff this week. Lots of noise as well going on. Stay tuned, just get into the workshop. Right, let's kick off with something a little bit different. Well, why is it different? Well, it's for sale, that's why. This car's come in, it's the MK Indie. It's a classic chassis, something I'm familiar with actually, this particular car. It's got a ZZR 1200 in there actually. So it's a carburetor version, earlier one, bike engine, quite a powerful little engine actually they were in their day. It's a quite big heavy lump, but they suit these cars really well on the road. This one has actually got a dry sump system fitted on it as well. It's a big old, huge oil tank down in there as well. Engine cradle, all the exhaust, it's got stainless exhaust, it's got wheelwood brakes on it, it's got tillets in there and everything else. I know a bit about this car because it's a 2009 registered car. Why do I know a bit about it? Well, it's been through a few hands, but I originally built this car back in 2008/2009. It's had a few changes since then, so don't quote me on all of it because it's had some, I think it's passed through about 4 owners in the last, gosh, how many years is that? 15 years ago that I built this particular car. But yeah, clean and tidy still, a few bits to do. What we're going to do is basically go through the car, basically inspect the whole vehicle. It needs an MOT in it, so we'll get it right, make sure everything's right, get an MOT on it. And then if you're interested in this particular car, they go pretty well. Give us a phone call, email, etc., or come down here and see it at the workshop here and we can talk you through the car. But at the moment it just needs a bit of recommissioning here, there and everywhere because it's been off the road for a couple of months. Get it to the MOT and yeah, should be ready to go. But stonking little car actually, and of course one of our favourite colours, black and yellow. Can't go wrong with black and yellow. Right, bike engine time again. This one is a ZX10. Sort of the earlier one, so it's an 04-ish engine in this particular one. Came in because the original engine unfortunately had a bit of a problem with the gearbox, as in it didn't like itself attached to the engine. So I think there was more driver error than anything else because they're generally reliable as well. But yeah, it's a cracking little car. Got some right bits on it again, got some wheelwoods on it, it's got the cage on it, it's got, you know, nice bits of carbon here, there and everywhere. And yeah, we've done the complete engine install and we'll see if she fires up actually. Stick it in gear, fuel pump priming, make sure she's in neutral, which she looks like she is. I mean, that is super sweet. It's very quiet actually, that engine. Not like start a booster, it's like, wow, really roaring, etc. That is actually bordering on civilised. Car's been test driven now, agents took it up the road. Seems sweet enough actually, all through the gears, nice and clean. Just one more little test drive on it to do, check all the fluids again. And then, yeah, should be good to get back to the owner now. But yeah, engine swap, box, tick. Right, it's cup car time. As you know, this said it venturing at Croft. So we're just going to go through the car, getting it ready for its next venture at Alton Park. I think that's around 3rd of June, which is the same weekend as the show weekend. So we're going to be splitting between the two as well. As you know, booster engine in here, but I just want to show you a couple of other things we do. Got the air filter in there. We have done as well with these angle throttle bodies. We do a little air box here, the pipe across one that bolts on, we'll bolt onto here, we can swap them over. If you're trying to get induction noise down on your track day, these do help. With the angled throttle bodies it will fit under there, not a problem at all. And that does help keep the noise down. Does it rob a little bit of horsepower? I'm going to ask you, going to say, well, it's about 2 to 3 horsepower it robs, that is all. But if it gets you on a track day and you're having a blast, I think you'll sacrifice that. You probably wouldn't even notice it, to be honest with you. It's only because of that front filter is a little bit more restrictive that sits in here. It's a little bit smaller obviously than the intake area, than the big old filter on those, but in the scheme of things, if we have it on the dyno, we have tested it on the dyno, it was literally a couple of horsepower, so nothing to write home about. The other thing that we've been working on the back here on this particular car is we are working on designing anti-roll bars. Now these are going to be for the Ford based and we will be doing them for Mazda based cars, so they are in development stages. But this is, well, it's 2 here at the moment that we're mocking up. This is one bar, it's a 16mm bar. This is the mounting brackets and they mount, you won't be able to see inside there, but they mount just on the top wishbone mounts here. So one goes over the top there and one on the other side, and the bar goes across the back. And then we have these drop linkages. Now this is a slide-on affair. It slides on and you can adjust it as well, and then this drops down to the bottom of your suspension pickup point, basically. On this particular one, on the Ford, it'll be on the shock, and then we replace that bolt that goes in the shock. It's tapped out here, so I'll unscrew that to show you, but we tap the bolt, and that's how that bottom bolt goes through your suspension pickup point down there, and then you screw in your drop link as well. So they're really simple process. We normally do the blade ones. We're trying to move to a more sort of conventional bar, shall we say, in that sense, and we will be able to change these. These are a tapered hole in here, so we can go from 14 up to 19 mil, I do believe, on these. So if we need to change bar thicknesses, etc. as well. So these two are on prototypes before they go to market. Bit of testing. We've got these going on 2 cars out at Snetterton. We're going to see how they work. Before we get them to market, we have to make sure the concept's right, so they will go into market. Once we have them in the market, we'll get them in the marketplace, get them on the website, and you'll be able to purchase them. And they're just a general upgrade. So we're going to do rear bar first, see how the car handles, changes to suspension, what it does, everything else. If we need to go to front bar, we'll also look at designing that as well. But at the moment, the rear bar, hopefully stabilising the suspension with what we do with the cup cars, a sort of bolt one upgrade really. So yeah, roll bars. They're on their way. They're on their way. Right, it's MK Indie R time. Indie R is a polybushed car. It's got all our billet front uprights on, billet rear uprights. It just hasn't got the rose joint in the suspension, which is down on here. You've got the standard joints and standard polybushes here, but we use them on the cup cars now as well. A polybush actually works really well. What we got in here? Well, we got a nice Duratec engine on throttle bodies. MBE management. I think she's going to be kicking out somewhere around about 250, 260 horsepower, mated to a Mazda MX-5 NC, so that's like a Mark III gearbox, 5-speed, that's on. Full dry sump system on it as well. Tanks mounted at the front now. You probably wonder, we always used to mount the tanks down here and shorten the footwell. Well, now with the tanks that we make, the slimline ones, we can get them in this V section at the front, so it all creates a nice tidy install. We're on some stuff with the car and it's come in for sort of pre-IVA work, shall we say. Adam's been on with this, doing all remounting the pots up here because they're going to get a bit hot down in there. We do the Duratec manifold system for it. It's got all the nice bells and whistles on it. It's got the freewheel, so it's got the wireless bit of kit on there as well. It's got the DD2, which is going to do the padded tunnel top in it. It's got the carbon tunnel top, carbon rear wings, carbon front wings, carbon inserted pads. Yeah, it's a nice bit of kit running on 15-inch wheels. Quite like the grey as well. It's going to have a stripe. I'll show you what colour stripe after it's had it done actually. So this is going to be here for a couple of weeks. Get it through, get it IVA'd, and again this will be another one that will be tearing up the A and B roads for the spring, coming very early summertime. So we can't wait to see this one go, and I bet you with that and that amount of power, this is going to be an absolute weapon. Right, something different that you know we've taken over is the Phoenix as a project. People have been asking about what's going on with it. Well, it's actually in the workshop at the moment because we're doing some service work on it as well, because it's been off the road, oh gosh, quite a few months now. So we thought we'd get it in and start going through it. We've got some bushing and stuff to do around here, so that's why this is off the front end here, to reservice some of these. We service any parts that are going on. These are the bushes that we had some issues with, a little bit of playing. We've got to service them, go through the car, get it all ready. But within the next few weeks, this will be up and running and then available for test drives as well. So we'll get it hooked up. It's a great little car. It's got 2 litres E-Tech in here, blacktop, and the magic all happens because of that. It's a little supercharger, little Rotex supercharger tucked in down there, which is why you can see the big intercooler at the front here as well. But it's a lovely little car to drive actually. It's really good fun. Fast enough, I'm going to say. I think they're 230, 240 horse, so it gets down the road pretty well. So we're carrying on with the service work. We'll get that up and running. So if you speak to Andy here, he'll be able to let you know once it's done, get you on an email or something, give you a call if you want to go out in a test drive, get you in the queue. Yeah, hook us up with phone, email, or come down and visit us at the factory because we'd love to see you. Right, MK Indie R time actually. So again, booster engine, but stock on standard throttle body, standard ECU. It's got a Dynajet Power Commander on this. It's a Power Commander 6 now actually. It's moved away from the 5s into a 6. Been on with, Josie's been cracking on with putting the headlights on with the new bracketry, new Essex nose cone, new Essex bonnet that's going on. This is all fitted now with the new catches as well. So that's all done, all fitted as well. Wing stays have all been mocked up, ready, and then we'll start bonding on. bleeding the brakes now, so it's got wheel woods on the front, it's got standard series on the back, and that's plenty enough braking on these. It's more than enough braking. It has got a flat shifter on this one as well, so it's wide into the ECU, so even though we've got the centre gear lever, it has got a flat shifter, so it's for up and down on this particular one, so it will pull right the way through. Dashboard's looking really cool. We've got these new little digi-dashy things in there with the black switches, all the rear arches. Rear lights are on. We've got pretty much what we had go-to standard LED light pack on here as well. Number plate lights, all LED lights completely across the rear here. Just the exhaust system to do the final fit. Steering wheel's all done as well, that's on, but quick release boss is on that. So it's a little Go Race quick release boss on there as well. And we're just finishing up the interior, which will be for this sort of alley top with the British touring car style centre shifter on this one, or the billet one, which is a bit trick, and then harnesses and seats to go in, so it should be on the ground pretty soon, getting ready for IVA. Right, here we go, another kit sort of being, well, on the trolley here, ready to get loaded and out to the customer. Well, ready for their summer build, which will be awesome, getting that out to them. But the chassis register, if you're already in the queue, then you'll be up on, I'm going to go with this side, I'm going to trick Elliot this side this week. And if you're already in the queue, you can see where you're at, or if you want to get yourself in the queue, then hook us up with a phone call, email, or come and see Andy here at the factory. He can talk you through the models, the range, the cars, the engines, the choices, the wheels, the specs, the colours. There's so much to go through. Right, we're going to wrap up this week, guys. Another busy week here, and looking forward to the shows that are coming up in June. We've got the new Malvern, but was Stoney, now Malvern Kit Car Show. We're 10. We've got the Cup 200 series also in the same month, and we've got open days as well coming up. So lots going on for you to get out in your cars and enjoy yourself. Don't forget, if you want to get out and enjoy yourself, this car will be up for sale. There's with it the ZZR 1200 that's in there as well. If you want to know more information about that, hook up, phone call, or email. Come and see Andy here, and he can talk you through the specs and the range. That's it for this week, guys. Don't forget, I'd love it to press that like button down there. It's a little thumbs up one. Subscribe and share, and we will catch you next week.